Hey everybody, Flound here with MMA predictions for UFC 84 Ill Will. And this particular video is going to feature the Ortiz-Machida matchup. Now we got two fighters going here, obviously. 15-5-1 Tito Ortiz against the undefeated 12-0 Lyoto Machida. I mean, let's face it, this is yet another test for the undefeated record of the Dragon. And possibly the last fight in the UFC for Tito Ortiz. Which would really be a shame in my opinion. Ortiz has been a good draw throughout his career, and he's one of the best at hype in a fight. And, you know, he's one of the best champions. I think he had the longest run at light heavyweight back when he held the belt. So basically what I'm going to do is going to break down each fighter, and then I'll do the overall fight analysis. So we'll start with Mr. Tito Ortiz. And I think it's pretty much a safe bet as to what the Huntington Beach bad boy is going to bring to the table. I mean, we know the three pillars on which Tito rests his crown, so to speak. Wrestling, cardio, and training in Big Bear. The holy Tito triumvirate, as it were. I mean, Tito's pretty much done the same thing in all his fights. He goes for the takedown, tries to get inside the guard, throws some elbows. And it's not much a stretch to say that old Tito likes to be posturing up and raining down some not-so-funny bones on somebody. And setting a torrid pace while doing so. The relentless ground and pound for which Mr. Ortiz is famous. Now, Tito, top-ranked fighter. He's in the top 10. He's a very good wrestler. He's got great takedowns, very good double legs, and he's good at driving through. He's got excellent top control. Loves to throw elbows from inside someone's guards, and he's one of the few guys that can do some serious damage from inside somebody's guard. A lot of guys can get in there and throw some shots, but Tito can actually hurt you with it. And he's a cardio freak, as I've mentioned before. I mean, he just keeps coming. I mean, that stems back from the time he gassed in that Guy Metzger fight, and he hasn't done it since. He's never going to lose that way again. Now, actual specific skills of beyond wrestling, he's an okay striker. I wouldn't even give him a good striker rating, but he doesn't do a half bad job. He tends to be more of a counter puncher when he does throw, and obviously he doesn't have a lot of knockout power. You know, he's definitely not a stand in the pocket and throw some bombs kind of guy, which sort of leads into his major weakness, which the types of fighter that he is susceptible to is a really good technical striker or a fairly good striker with KO capabilities. It's been my impression over the years that Tito just doesn't like getting banged up. Now this is sort of going to step outside the fight game a little bit with Tito, but lately I don't think Ortiz has been as dominating as he has been in the past. I mean, he's got the win over Griffin, which again wasn't a dominating win. He's got that close match with Evans. Now granted, it did come out as a draw, but that was because the 1 point was taken away from grabbing the fence. I mean, other than that, I think Tito might have eked out another split decision on that one. But I think this sort of contract dispute with Dana's may play an effect in this fight, but I'll get into that later. But I don't know if Tito is necessarily the beast that we remember from his earlier days. You know, when he was beating Wanderlei Silva and Machusenko and Cote and Belfort and that. So that could be a little bit of a negative on Tito. Now, on the other side, we got Lyoto Machida. Now, Lyoto Machida is the complete package as far as an MMA fighter goes, in my opinion. He's a good striker. He's got quick hands. You know, he doesn't have one-punch KO power, but he does have some juice in his kicks. The guy has some pretty powerful kicks. He's a slightly unorthodox striker. He doesn't come off as sort of your typical excellent striker in the MMA, but he's highly effective with it. I mean, he's a very elusive guy. He's hard to hit. He counters well. He uses angles well. He backs away. You know, highly intelligent fighter, and you know, he's got that spinning back kick which can really unload on you. And indeed, all his kicks are fast and powerful. Now, when it comes to the ground game, he's got a good clinch game too, actually, which you've seen. He's studied Muay Thai. As a matter of fact, he started out in karate, learned sumo, and I do believe Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then hooked up with an Oki and did some wrestling and learned some Muay Thai as well. So, you know, he's an all-around package. But anyway, as I said, good balance, very good takedowns, has good takedown defense. And he has good submissions, and he has good submission defense. So, I mean, I think Lyoto does have the capability to definitely take care of Tito. Now, on the downside, Lyoto's not a finisher per se. In his 12 fights, he's got 2 TKOs, 2 submissions, and a forfeit. Everything else has been a decision. And for the average viewer, his fights aren't necessarily the most entertaining. Now, I'm not saying that as a criticism as a fighter per se, but that's actually due to his intelligence. He tries to make his opponent think, set up tactical battles, the real chess match kind of combat thing, which makes it really interesting for a hardcore fan, but for the average viewer, maybe not so flashy. So on to the fight itself. If this fight stays on its feet, it's going to be Machida all the way. I think the chances of a TKO, it's possible, but unlikely. And if it is a standing TKO, I think it'll become purely as a result of a kick from Machida, or a series of kick, or possibly even a knee or two. It definitely won't be a TKO by punches by either of them. I don't think either of them have knockout power in their hands. They do, or Machida does, however, have knockout power in his legs. If it does stay on the feet, Machida, I think, is going to be able to easily stay away from any sort of harm that Tito can do, and he'll kick like crazy. Now, yes, that may open up him to a takedown from Tito, but honestly, I don't think Tito's going to find takedowns quite that easy in this fight. And even if he does take Lyoto down, I think Lyoto is going to be good from his back. I think his submissions are good enough, and his escapes, more importantly, that he'll bring it back to his feet. I don't see this being a complete ground battle. I actually think this will be sort of seesaw. I think Tito's going to get a couple of takedowns during the fight, but I think Machida's going to stuff more of them than he's going to allow. I think he's going to be able to escape from Tito. As good as Tito's top control is, I think Machida will be able to power his way out, or, well, technique his way out at least, and get it back up to its feet. So my prediction, this is going to go all 3 rounds, and I see Machida winning probably 29-28, possibly 30-27 on all scorecards. It's not going to be a split decision, and while it's possibly a TKO, if it is, it's going to be Machida's TKO.